to Bloom and Believe, and welcome to our signature manifesting ritual.
Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to this week's vlog. We have got a bit of a, to be honest, just some cozy, chilled, slow days together. I've actually got some time to myself this weekend. Jake isn't here, so I've got a few days to myself. Today is now Wednesday, so I'm starting with you a little bit later because I knew I wanted to take you along for at least the Saturday part of the weekend. So with that being said, earlier this week, which you will have seen because I put it in before this, I actually did a really lovely ritual that I think I showed you. I definitely did show you the ritual box in my previous vlog, and loads of you are wanting to see just kind of like the ritual in action. And actually, I did that on Monday, and when I say it did so much to shift my energy, I think I probably needed it more than I even realized. And sometimes it's just so nice to kind of be guided by someone else, right? To have someone to hold that space for you in ritual. And that was amazing, honestly. Just all of the things inside that ritual box was so high quality. The cacao was some of the nicest cacao I've ever had, actually. And it was just a really beautiful ritual, and Courtney's guidance was honestly so needed in that moment. So with that being said, I'm feeling relatively good coming into this week. It has been quite a slow week. I've just been editing away at lots of bits and bobs and really not much going on, but I thought, as it's Wednesday afternoon, I would jump on with you guys and actually check in and start the vlog. Now, the plan is for my girly kind of weekend, end of the week, like girl time, slow time, chill time, is I want to do some flower arranging, I think. So that's actually why we're in the car. I'm going to go out. We actually don't have any vases because due to our cats, the vases have just have been broken in one way or another over the last year or so. So I'm actually in the car to go and get a vase. I think I'm going to go to TK Maxx and see if I can find anything there in the vase kind of department. And then the plan for the rest of the week is tomorrow I am my very lovely friend who actually shoots a lot of my sort of images and stuff for the Soul Shala. She has just bought a house actually quite close to where we currently live, and she's sort of in the process of doing renovations and whatnot, and she messaged me and said, can you help me rip up the carpet? And I am absolutely your girl for that. So tomorrow we're ripping up carpets, which will be fun, and then I'm not sure what's happening Friday. We'll see what's happening Friday, but other than that, that is kind of the plan. And of course flower arranging and a bit of baking. You know I love to bake when I have some time to myself, so I thought we could spend some really cozy, chilled, soft and slow, including carpet ripping up, days together. So with that being said, let's get going. Let's get to TK Maxx. I was kind of hoping for a darker blue, but this is very pretty with like the soft green. It's kind of the right size as well. Not my home vibe, but the house we use that tarot card on. I did not come in here for lamps, but I have got sidetracked, and whilst these might not be the perfect fit for our current flat, I do really love the blue and white. However, there are no prices anywhere. Hello guys, it is Thursday? Yes, it is Thursday. Checking in with you in the car, which I don't always love to do, but nevertheless, I think I left you guys when I was at TK Maxx yesterday, and when I get home I'm going to show you. I only picked up 2 things, but one of them was a very rogue thing. It was one of the lamps that I showed you, and it looks gorgeous. Jake loved it when I brought it home yesterday, but I just didn't manage to check in with you. But today is now Thursday. I have spent the morning over at my lovely friend's house, and I think I mentioned this, we were actually ripping up her carpets, which again I didn't film because it was her home, so I didn't want to infringe on any privacy there. But it is Thursday afternoon. I'm literally in the car just popping out to the shop to go and get cat food, and then the plan for the evening is to have a bit of a makeover evening, have a shower, wash my hair, and then I think I just want to like light all the candles and have a really lovely evening. I think I'm going to make some cacao because I am due on my cycle today. It reminds me I want to get some cinnamon sticks from the supermarket because we're about to go on my cycle. So yes, that is kind of the plan. So we're going to pop to the supermarket, and whilst I'm in there I am going to have a little mooch around the flowers because my plan for probably Saturday is to do a little bit of flower arranging now that I've got my vase. So I'm just gonna have a little look, begin to pre-plan my flower arrangement of the week, and I'm gonna try and see if this one can last me longer. So anyway, I'll talk about that all when we come to Saturday. But with that being said, let's go and do this fast errand so that I can settle in for a cozy makeover evening. You're gonna have to forgive me because the washing machine is on, but I actually wanted to pop on Big Milk in the Way. That was actually what I was wanting to speak about, because I feel like on the vlogs I don't really chat almost at all about nutrition and diet. It's not really a huge topic that I love to chat about, just because I think it's so personal and I think it's so like unique to each person. However, it is something that I'm really passionate about, and I also know it's something that I've spoken about a little bit more in depth in the past. And I know in the past I used to be someone who was very focused on like dairy alternatives. I really tried to avoid dairy where possible, especially when we lived in Dubai, because we actually really didn't have any access to any like fresh local milk or anything, or like milk products or anything like that. So I used to be very much on it there. But yes, for anyone who maybe sort of has seen in the world of like nutrition, there's been a lot of studies that have just shown that like especially like barista oat blends really probably aren't that great for us. And also I guess if we think about like maybe some of the ingredients in a lot of plant milks, not all of them, there's like a lot of sort of not the most natural ingredients. And obviously I really do think when it comes to nutrition, it's pick your poison at the end of the day. Like there are so many things that are so great for you, but also there is a level of like life is to be lived and food is to be enjoyed, and we sort of pick and choose what makes us feel our best because we are individuals. But with that being said, because we are back in the UK and we have access to, first of all, a lot of local dairy products, which is amazing. But what I found here that I actually didn't know existed was, firstly, I really focus on organic. That's a huge thing for me. But also, you're now able to have access to what's known as like RSPCA milks, which I didn't even know was a thing. But basically, they are guaranteed to be cruelty-free, which for me is a big thing because I am veggie. So I've been veggie for many years. I don't know if I've mentioned this recently. I am vegetarian, have been for a very long time. And so that sort of RSPCA approval gives me some peace of mind. Obviously, we never truly know, but it does give me some peace of mind to think, okay, this is pretty ethical and it's organic always. And I just think that actually, like, I don't know, for me personally, it does feel just that little bit more, rather than sort of the stuff in my plant milks that I didn't really know what was in there. At least I know what's in it. I don't particularly I tend to tolerate dairy products quite well. I don't have loads of it, but I tend to tolerate it relatively well. So that's kind of what's been working for me. Generally within my diet, I always tend to fresh whole foods. That's the biggest thing. Ideally local foods, organic foods, lots of veggies, lots of variety. And that is what works for me. It won't work for everyone. And I feel like sometimes when you talk about nutrition, people get very angry. But yeah, that is what works for me. And I mean, my plan for the year is to be a little bit more in the kitchen and to be cooking a little bit more. So it felt kind of in keeping to mention that. So you kind of have the background of what it is that I focus on when it comes to meals and nutrition. Always vegetarian, always organic where possible, fresh local whole foods and veggies and whatnot are always kind of what I try to focus on. She says with her chocolate chip biscuits in the shop, because balance is the most important thing, and I will always be having all the veggies and then I'll be having a chocolate chip cookie afterwards, because I do think life is for living and I do think that food is to be enjoyed ultimately. as much as it is a healer and to nourish us, there's also an element of like love and enjoyment that goes into it. But with that being said, I'm gonna jump in the shower, hair wash, and then come back to you guys, and we're gonna have a cozy evening in. Good evening again, guys. It's been a little while since I chatted to you earlier. I'm fresh. It's a curly hair wash this time, so my hair is in the process of drying, so it's looking a little bit, not too crazy, but just it's halfway dry. I'm fresh-faced, clean-faced, looking very wintry pale, I'm not gonna lie, but that's fine. That is fine. And I have actually just set myself up for a very, very cozy evening. I've got the candles on. I'm sat with my new TK Maxx lamp, which I will have shown you a little bit clearer in some of the earlier clips, but I am actually so obsessed. I'm also just obsessed with how it looks there. Got my candle on. I love it. I actually really love, I went for slightly lighter blue. They had some like darker blue ones, and it's more of like a almost tealy turquoise and white, and I actually really like that. I feel like it suits the vibe within our apartment quite well. I loved the darker blue ones, and when we're sort of not in more of an apartment setting, I think they're going to be gorgeous, but I just don't know why, but I felt like I needed a bigger space to give those their glory, whereas this one is very like, it's still beautiful, it's still very elegant, it's still the same vibe, but it's very feminine in it being just that slightly more teal colour, and we have like a Van Gogh poster there, and it just kind of picks the colour up from that really nicely. So I am loving this. Jake also really liked it when I brought it home. I'm actually very, very fortunate with Jake. He loved this when I brought it in, but he is very, like, we have the exact same interior design sort of vibe and aesthetic, and I love that because I have always been, even since like a teenager, I am a shabby chic girl. Like I think it's so pretty. Like I do not like anything modern, just not my style. Any sort of modern interiors is just really not really for me. Like I can do like maybe like an organic modern interior, but it's just not my vibe. I love sort of, I don't know, the rustic, earthy, but also quite feminine and beautiful vibe of things. This thing on TikTok when people like getting married is scary, or like having a partner is scary because what if they don't let me decorate my house like whatever, grandma, or shabby chic dream, or girly things, and I really don't have to worry about that for the most part, especially within our apartment. It's all little pretty bits which he just loves, and I think it just works. He does actually have his office, which is very his own and is a little bit more masculine, but the rest is very, we've got crystals everywhere. I literally have my card of Hecate up on our mantle. We've got candles everywhere. But yes, that is going off on a massive tangent. But what I thought I would do is I am planning on making myself a ceremonial cacao for the evening, and I thought I could pop on here and kind of like share with you my recipe. I also want to show you the vase I bought when I bought this, because that was actually the reason we went into HomeSense, or TK Maxx at the time. But yeah, I thought I'd make my ceremonial cacao. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through how I make it here, and then I'll put you on a little time lapse when I make it. So for it, obviously I need ceremonial cacao. I'm not too fussy about how much, but I do tend to use a fair bit because I like a nice strong one. So I'm going to use ceremonial cacao. Ceremonial cacao is a little bit different to just like normal hot cocoa because it is from sort of certified people who are like harvesting it. It's also ones usually used in forms of ritual, but it's also amazing for opening up the heart chakra. It's incredible for deepening your intuition. It is really high in magnesium, which makes it really fantastic for the time of the month or any form of menstruation. Also, it's the spiritual benefits of it. It just really opens you up through the heart chakra, and I really feel that when I have it, so that is why it is a little bit different. But in terms of my recipe, you can hear a little kitten nibbling, he's literally down there. In terms of the recipe, ceremonial cacao, I'm going to use actually a mixture of my just normal milk, and then I also have a nice coconut milk, which I'm going to show you. I'm going to show it to you right now actually. So because we were on the topic of milk, forgive the lighting, it's going crazy. My hair is getting bigger more and more as we speak. But on the topic of milk that we were chatting about, this is my favorite current plant milk. I use this for matcha, but the reason I love this is it has literally only got spring water, rice, coconut milk, calcium carbonate and sea salt. There's like so minimal ingredients there, so I love this one. So I'm going to do a mixture. I'm going to do normal milk and this one, and then I really can't find a spot to put you in where I can show you all of this. This will have to do because I'm in my cupboard. The next thing I tend to put in, I do like to put a little bit of sweetener in because it is very bitter. Ceremonial cacao is honey. Now this honey is really high, you can see. It says it's really high in magnesium, which is amazing because that's also kind of the aim of making this. I always try and get organic raw honey. The one that apparently is highest in magnesium is Scottish heather honey apparently, so that will be my next purchase, is Scottish heather honey, to try that out. But yes, I will put honey in. Today I think I'm going to put some little tea roses in as well, and to be honest that's everything. I just heat the milk, put the cacao in, add a bit of honey, and just keep it going until it's all melted. So with that being said, I'm going to pop you in a time lapse and we are going to make some cacao. So yes, that is my ceremonial cacao recipe. I just realised I didn't quite finish what I was saying earlier, but that is actually a recipe I would like to eventually get on the Soul Shadow blog, but I actually really want to sit down and almost see if I can pull some things into it and create, I think as I said, quite a feminine, almost like goddess inspired blend. Because otherwise it's just a cacao recipe that you may have seen before. But yes, I realise I also may have shown you cacao already within this vlog because I made one during my ritual early in the week on Monday, which was lovely. That blend was actually probably the best one. It's much better than the blend I usually have. But yes, with that being said, that is, I think the plan for the evening is I'm going to have this. Always when I have ceremonial cacao, I take a moment just to connect with it, to set an intention with it, also to kind of thank it. It is a plant medicine at the end of the day, so I always just try and make sure I kind of always pay my respects to it before connecting with it for the intuitive purposes or whatever it might be. But yeah, I think I'm probably going to read a book this evening, chill. Tomorrow I have a fair bit of admin I just want to get done to finish off the week. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. To be honest, that's the main thing for tomorrow, is getting those admin bits done. But saying that, on Saturday there is actually a farmer's market sort of in our local high street, so I was actually thinking that I might have a little mooch around there and just see what there is, and maybe get some bits for dinner, get some fresh fruit and veg for dinner. And also, of course, flower arranging. I did actually have a mooch around the flowers just in M&S today, and actually there were some really, really lovely ones. I already kind of had in mind what I was thinking I might do, but I didn't show you. I know I showed it to you in TK Maxx, but I don't think I showed you the exact one that I got. So give me 1 minute, I'll be back. Say that we were going to watch my hair triple in size this evening, and I'm very fresh faced. I don't normally vlog for you guys in the evening. It's kind of nice. It feels like I'm having a sleepover. But this is the vase that I got from TK Maxx yesterday. Just a little one, because I actually wanted a smaller one because it means that you can just do a little bit more. You don't quite need as many flowers to make a really beautiful arrangement. And again, it was the same thing with the lamp. I went in for a dark blue vase, dark blue and white, sort of in this sort of print, and then I saw this one which is, I'd actually say more of a green. It's far more soul shallow colour, because we do have kind of like a matchery colour in the soul shallow branding that I think is called moss. Yeah, it's like a mossy colour, but it's part of soul shallow branding, so whenever I see that colour I'm like, oh, soul shallow. But yes, it's more of that sort of greeny soul shadowy colour, but I just thought that was really sweet, and I thought it would look really beautiful with sort of more spring flowers, the pinks, the soft sort of whites. So that is the vase that I got. Just two things. I did not go in for a lamp, as I said earlier. I went in for a vase, came back with both, but never mind. But I think that's everything for this evening. I'm gonna leave you guys and I will check in with you tomorrow. Happy Friday, guys. It's actually the first time I'm checking in with you today. As you will have seen earlier, Chatty cats, hi Bengo. As you will have seen earlier, I just cracked on with some admin today. I did a really lovely yoga practice actually this morning, my sort of usual morning routine, and then I was just cracking on with some like end of the week admin. I went to a co-working space, smashed it out just to kind of get it done, and then, to be honest with you, I'm not actually feeling 100%. I've got the combination of a head cold and also being on my cycle, which is really like taking it out of me. It's really zapping me. Mango has like post-dinner zoomies, so if you hear her in the background, that is what's currently going on. But yes, that is currently where I'm at. But something that I did kind of want to do this evening, just because it is one of my favorite things, is to do a little bit of baking, and I think I'm going to do some like healthier brownies this evening. I don't tend to do a whole lot of like healthier recipes just because I really enjoy baking, and it's the process of it more so. But it's just me this weekend, so I'm likely to be the one eating them, so a healthier recipe is very much needed because I'm actually not fancying like a massive cake. So I'm thinking some healthier brownies could be really, really nice. So that is kind of my plan for the evening, is to just have, as we kind of did last night, a really cozy evening, do a bit of baking and just take it as easy as possible because I'm not feeling 100%. But with that being said, there was actually one thing I did want to kind of pop on and muse about, some musings I feel like I picked up on this week. And I actually feel like I've really felt the switch into Pisces season just a few days ago. I love chatting you guys about my chart, so bear with me because I feel like it gives you an insight into who I am. But my North Node is in Pisces and my Saturn return is in my 12th house. So Pisces plays quite a lot of big roles within my chart, despite it not being one of sort of my big 3 signs. And I love Pisces season, I really do. I always feel just very connective, very intuitive, and I've really felt that over the past few days. We obviously only went into Pisces season on, was it the 19th? I think it was a bit earlier this month, so yeah, probably the 19th. But with that being said, there was something that I was thinking about that I actually wrote about in the email that I was drafting today for my email list next week. And it's something that I actually watched a video of someone talking about it as well yesterday. It's a really, really lovely soul who's on here actually, called Alicia Gogan, and she also just worded it so beautifully, and it's something that I had been really trying to wrap my head around and think about, and I thought it would be nice to come on and chat about it here as well. And basically what it was, the concept of it is like when we find ourselves in maybe like a liminal space of, and when I say a liminal space, and I think I've spoken about this so many times, but the liminal space of like being in one version of yourself, moving into another version of yourself, or sitting in what was like an old manifestation that is now currently your reality, and it no longer feels aligned, or it no longer feels as if it serves your highest good. And when you kind of identify that something is no longer serving you, or like you're not, the universe is telling you, maybe the universe will never give you peace and something that's not meant for you. But I feel like something that we forget, or that I forget at times, is that when we make the decision and when the change happens, and when we can actively like see the change within our life, there is this like quite big in between space, this liminal space. And quite often during this time, especially if it is something that's quite heavy, we turn to the universe, we turn to whatever it is we believe in, we turn to our spiritual practices, and we're like, okay, this is a mountain that I need help moving. Like, this is a really, really big, heavy energy that I need help moving. I need help shifting out of. Maybe it's a situation, maybe it's a feeling. Like, we get that feeling, we're like, yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Like, I need a mountain to be moved. Like, there's so much that needs to change. And I think sometimes what we forget is when these big like transitions come up, or when these metaphorical mountains need to be moved, that's like big work, right? Like, it doesn't happen overnight, and quite often like we do have to sit in, I guess, the situation our past selves have created for us, and not in a bad way, just that situation might not feel aligned anymore. We do have to sit in that situation for a little while whilst the universe is weaving what's next for us. And if mountains are being moved, we do just have to be patient. And I think there's an element of like, this is big heavy work, it's not going to happen overnight. And your reality, especially I guess because manifestations as well, like your reality is not going to change always immediately. Like, it might take time, and that is the process of maybe systems being dismantled, maybe your current reality beginning to be dismantled so that you can rebuild, whatever it might be. But it just kind of got me thinking, because like, if we can sink into this idea that, okay, the universe is weaving in your favor, all of these cheesy things that we always hear, or the universe is moving mountains for you, right? Like, it's literally picking things up, moving it, despite how heavy it is. It's doing the impossible because maybe it feels so far out of your control. You've given it to the universe and been like, I need help, right? But when this is happening, like, you're here going, what is going on? And there's like fear, and there's doubt, and there's like, I don't know, you're questioning it, and maybe from the day to day you're really stressing over it. I know for me this is a massive thing. Like, the day to day I will then really stress about it and feel like, I don't know what the solution is, I don't know what I should be doing, I don't know what decisions I should be making. And I think what we forget is, and what I guess the universe would be saying to us in those moments, is like, I'm literally up here sorting everything out so I can move mountains for you. You just need to trust. Like, you have two options here. You can sort of sit in this like fearful, anxious energy, which I think we all have those moments where we sit in that fearful, anxious energy, and we're like, I need to control this. Like, this is too much. I need to control this. And actually then unconsciously maybe feed more and more energy to the situation that we no longer want. Or we can try our very best in moments, in glimmers, to sink into trust where possible. And I don't think that will be possible 100% of the time, depending on the situation, but try to find glimmers of trust and glimmers of hope. Because if the universe, whatever you believe in, is weaving things in your favor and it's moving mountains for you to move towards what is meant for you, then actually, like, we can trust. We can really just take a step back and go, okay, this is out of my hands. I've handed it over to whatever I believe is a power higher than what I am capable of right now. I can begin to sink into trust. That's my one job. And actually, I had this concept explained to me before, and I can't remember where it was or how it was or when I heard it, but it was this idea that, okay, if we think about the fact that, like, how are we in situations, if we're trying to stay in our feminine and trying to really sink into that feminine that is more fluid and does go with the flow, and that can sometimes feel really at odds with, actually, you know what, in life sometimes we need to make decisions and sometimes we need to have action. There's a balance, right, of yin and yang, masculine and feminine. And I think the concept was like the times when things feel really hard and you're trying to make things happen and they're not happening, the ways in which we can stay more in that yin feminine energy, that energy of trust, of intuition, of fluidity, of just faith, is to again hand it over to our higher power. Say, okay, I'm going to hand over that masculine energy I'm trying to control everything with. I'm going to give it. And I think the concept was like, imagine that like there's a team working for you and they're going to sort it all out, right? And this feeling of like, I'm going to sink into trust. I'm going to ask whatever I believe in above me to help me and guide me out of whatever it is, or through whatever it is, whatever it might be. And in the meantime, my main job then is to come back into this feminine, trusting, fluid energy as much as possible. It's not always going to be possible depending on the situation, because we're human, right? We're not perfect, but that's just something I've been really thinking about it, and it really has resonated with me this week. And I just thought that if there's anyone else out there who may be moving through a transition, maybe you're wanting to change things, maybe things aren't feeling aligned in a certain area of your life and you're like moving towards something else, I think that element of like, it takes time. The best thing you can do in this time, if you've asked for that, you're manifesting it, you've asked for support and you've asked for guidance or whatever it might be, is trust, which is much easier said than done. But that is a big old natter for a Friday evening. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get some brownies in the oven. I'm going for like a banana almond butter kind of, actually no, I've got a hazelnut butter tonight, a banana sort of hazelnut brownie. I'm trying new recipes, so good morning everyone, happy Saturday. I'm literally just in the process of getting myself ready to head out. I'm not gonna lie, I've had a bit of a slower morning this morning because I'm not feeling 100%. That's sort of that annoying head coldy level where it's not enough that I'm poorly, but it's enough that it's just very annoying. So my plan for the evening is I'm going to make a really lovely like feel better soup. I actually found a nice recipe on the Deliciously Ella app. So whilst I'm at the farmer's market, I will pick up just a few veggies. I think I only need like broccoli, chives and chickpeas. Everything else I have in the fridge. So I'm going to pick up some of those, and then I'm also going to then pick up the flowers on the way home and do some flower arranging. Forgive if you can hear the washing machine in the background. I just don't have a lot of places to catch up with you. But with that being said, that is kind of the plan, and I'm hoping to sort of get out and get going. So let's get out, let's get walking, and then when I get back we can chat all things and catch up and just have a little natter. I have just got back. I've actually just prepped my flowers that I'm going to be using up there and got them just in some water so we could sit down and have a little chat. It's a very little farmer's market today, but there were some really cute things. I've got a few bits and bobs in here. I got some fresh mint for teas. The cats are really wanting to be involved. I got some broccoli for my dinner. I wasn't actually able to find chives anywhere, even in the shop, which was, it doesn't matter too much. I'm not actually too fussed about having chives, but some purple broccoli, which was lovely. And then I also got some coriander, which I'm going to put in instead of chives in my dinner. And then I needed chickpeas. Growing chickpeas, not very exciting. I also got some bleach, which is over there, because I saw this thing about how putting in bleach in your flower arrangements, which seems so wrong to me, but I just feel like it would kill the flowers, but apparently putting a little drop of bleach in your flower arrangements helps the flowers stay longer. So I got a little bit of bleach and then just some raspberries, which is very not exciting. I just needed them. And then I actually popped into one of my favorite shops on the way home and got a little candle because I smelled this and was like, I wasn't going in. I was going in for a mooch. We don't have a whole bunch of candles actually in the house at the moment, but that smells incredible. It's from a very cute brand called Hunter's Moon, which I just thought, oh, that smells honestly so lovely. It is a Restore rosemary, sage and thyme. It smells really, really nice. So I'm very excited about that. So yes, that was kind of my little trip into town for the day. And my plan is now to move the chickpeas out of the way because they are taking up the spotlight. So yes, on the topic of flower arranging, if I haven't already said this, I just prepped them all so they're in water so I can sit down and have a natter with you. But yes, kind of the thought process behind monthly flower arrangements here was I was thinking for 2025, I wanted to kind of implement like more of a hobby. Obviously yoga was like my biggest hobby and now it's become my job, which I love. I'm so grateful for, like, that is the best thing. And also yoga still very much is a hobby for me, but it has opened up space for me to try other things. And I just felt like it would be really nice to have a hobby where I could just something really mindful that I could switch off. The original idea was actually clay throwing and pottery making. However, given not quite knowing our timeline for moves and stuff this year, I couldn't really sign up to, Mango's literally just jumped over the camera, my goodness. I couldn't really sign up to a course of any kind. So that's where we came round to flower arranging, because it is something that I have done before. If anyone watched the vlogs when I lived in Dubai, I actually went to quite a few flower arranging workshops there and it became something I really enjoyed. It's connecting to nature, it's nice, and I just thought no matter where I am this year it could be really, really nice. It's creative, gets me connected to the earth, gets me connected to maybe some of my feminine energy. So that was very much the thought process behind it. Today we're starting very simple and I'll talk you through sort of everything I picked, but yeah, that was kind of the thought process behind it, and that is kind of where we're starting from. I actually did treat myself to a new book as well because I'm in my floristry era, just because I thought this was so gorgeous and it has some inspiration for like different arrangements and also like seasonal arrangements, which I really, really, really want to implement. My thought process behind this, if I'm being 100% honest, is I would love to get to the point where maybe one day if I were to get married I could do my own floral arrangements. I can't believe I'm saying that and putting that on the internet because it probably won't happen, in the sense of like I will be like, you're crazy for thinking you could do that. But that is actually my thought process behind it, that could be really nice because it is something that I enjoy. So there are some lovely seasonal arrangements in here which I just think are so beautiful and I would love to eventually begin to work towards. That one, the snowdrops one, is just so pretty. Oh, just love it. So yes, that is kind of the idea behind this. With that being said, I did get myself like 2 slightly bigger flowers and then some foliage. I love the look of very like wild and earthy flower arrangements that will shock no one, given that I'm me. Very earthy, very wild, a little bit, yeah, just a little bit of the earth. And then I've got some smaller, hopefully dangly flowers I'm hoping for. But that is kind of the plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this table, get us all sorted, and then I'll talk you through what I've chosen and probably put you on a bit of a time lapse while we do some flower arranging. I'm also going to make myself a hot drink. You know what I'm going to make myself, which I got yesterday, is I actually went into I actually went into Holland & Barrett yesterday because I needed really boring stuff like tampons because it's that time of the month, and I tried to get organic ones where possible, and they had a new range of teas, and this whole raspberry leaf tea again is really good for when you're on your cycle. So I think I'm going to make a pot of raspberry leaf tea as a flower arrange. So yeah, let's get myself sorted. I'll get myself set up. Okay, this is a good setup. So I have got myself kind of set up, raspberry leaf tea on the go, and my plan is the flowers that I got some really pretty tulips that look like when they bloom they're going to be kind of like a really soft, oh my light, stay with me, but they're going to be like a really soft pretty like ballet pink. I think they're going to be lovely. Some white roses. I will bring you a little bit closer in a minute and show you how I sort of make my roses look like a really expensive sort of flower arrangement. And then I have also got, I actually really wanted hyacinths, but the bottom of them was going to be just a little bit too big for my vase. So I've got freesias, which I'm hoping I can sort of arrange so they dangle down, because I love the look of kind of like a cascading arrangement. And then I got some eucalyptus. This is actually a different kind of eucalyptus to what I usually use and what I've seen before, but I thought it looked very wild and lovely, so I'm very excited about that. And in terms of my plans for it, what I will do is I will always snip on an angle, as always. I feel like everyone knows that bit. And then when I'm measuring the height, I will often sort of turn them upside down and help me measure the height of my vase. But with that being said, I'm going to bring you a bit closer, show you what I kind of do to my roses to get them looking gorgeous, and then I'm going to pop you in a time lapse, pop some music on, and really enjoy this. Right, let's move the teapot out of the way. And I'm going to show you what I do with my roses, which one's going to come out. So these ones actually are looking slightly worse for wear, but that's fine. I didn't actually look at them properly in the shop, but that's a little note there. Saying that, this was actually remarkably not that expensive for all of these. I think they probably came to like £16, which is not that bad, I don't think, personally. But yes, anyway, some of these are a little bit broken on the side, so I will remove any broken just on the outer layer. Any of these slightly worse for wear petals, this is not a good example because this one's got a few worse for wear petals. It's only really two there, but there are a few little broken ones in there. So what I will do once I've removed those outer leaves and trying to avoid any thorns, I will just very gently begin to kind of roll them in my hands. This seems really strange, but it just helps to open them up just a little bit. You can do it upside down as well. It's sometimes a bit easier, but I wanted you to be able to see it. And then we're going to begin to open up just some of the outer leaves. And the way in which I do that, this is just with my fingers, one underneath, two on top, gently, gently, just begin to fold that out. And this makes them look so like wild and beautiful. I just love the way this looks, but we've got to be really, really gentle. Got a little broken leaf there, which is broken petal. Actually, that works quite well. And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll give them a little blow just to help them open up a bit. And that always looks really stunning. So that is what I'm going to do to my roses throughout this as well, to get them looking really beautiful and pretty. Seemingly just like that, another vlog is coming to an end. I've just finished my flower arrangement, put it up in the living room. It has breathed so much life into the space. I'm really looking forward to it blooming. I think it's gonna just be gorgeous, and yeah, I really enjoyed that actually. It was such a simple thing, but has brought me a lot of joy on a solo Saturday afternoon. Now with that being said, that is everything for this week's vlog. Thank you guys so much for being here and hanging out with me and spending the week with me. If you did enjoy it, please do let me know. Pop me a comment, say hello, let me know how your week was. Also, if you are here and maybe you're not subscribed, I would absolutely love if you did subscribe. I know that like over half the people that watch this channel actually aren't, and that's totally fine. But also, if you do enjoy the videos, it's really helpful if you do subscribe, and I would just love you forever. But with that being said, that is everything. Thank you guys for being here with me. Thank you for hanging out. I'm sending you so much love, and I will see you in next week's vlog. Bye guys.